What is good, everyone? It is the super producer, live, center, not in the back this time here. Switching it up a bit here at the Chicago Clubhouse Network. We are kind of dealing with a little bit of a skeleton crew tonight. So our boy Frank the Tank is out doing real world family stuff, being a father hero. Hats off to him. Good for him. That's why he's a better man than the rest of us. And then Foulmouth as well will be busy and will not be able to join us as well. So those guys are taking an extended leave to Father's Day weekend. So must be nice. Must be nice. That's all I can say. So, but you're gonna have myself. You're gonna have our returning guest Bearski, and the stat man JB will also be here. We have the NBA draft kicking off tonight as well. The Bulls went ahead and made their pick already with the number 4 pick. And we drafted Caleb again. Only it was Caleb Wilson this time, so not Williams. So, but another CW is coming to the Chicago area. So get used to it, folks. A lot of hype on this kid. A lot of expectations for him as well. Hopefully he's just what the Bulls need to kind of start this rebuild and kind of get it kicked off, and hopefully kind of get back to the glory days, of the 90s and stuff, where we're actually winning some championships. So we do have another guest on here tonight as well. So we will bring him on and the rest of the crew as soon as we hit the intro. So super producer, that'd be me. Hit it.
You are now rocking with the Chicago Clubhouse podcast, where they think they know everything, but honestly, they don't know shit.
Watch these summer league games and they tell you about these new up and coming coaches.
I think we should get rid of every motherfucking owner in Chicago.
Enzo and Caruso, both when they are on the court, are like your defensive generals.
But they need to get that strong safety who's not scared to hit somebody.
They really don't know shit.
No, we really don't know shit, but you know what? It sure is fun to pretend like we do. So we got some guys here in the clubhouse that always like to speak their mind, give their opinions, and with the Bulls draft tonight here. We definitely have a lot of opinions on who the newest member of the Chicago Bulls is. And we also have the 15th pick coming up here. So we got another baby bull about to be born here. So thank you to everybody that's in the chat. Hello to all. Welcome to the Clubhouse. It's good to have you here. Like I said, the more members, the more people we have in the Clubhouse, the funner it is. So come one, come all. Thank you to Bearskis, like I said, in the chat as well. Helen, good to see you. And Book of Ezra, good to see you as well. You guys are awesome. And keep them coming. Keep the questions coming. Like I said, Bulls draft is going right now, or the NBA draft is going right now. So the only ones we're really interested is the Bulls picks. So, but let's go ahead and get the rest of the crew in here before I start or keep rambling for too long. So first up, our boy that knows every stat from the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, and maybe even more. You just got to ask him a question and don't be surprised if he has an answer for it. So let's bring our boy JB, the stat man. Welcome back to the Clubhouse. What's good?
Man, how you doing, brother?
Oh man, I'm just living life, man. I'm feeling it. Happy I got home in time for the show. I know it was getting a little hairy there, but you know, no harm, no foul. You know, Bulls got the 4th pick in. Caleb Wilson. What are you thinking of that so far? Before I bring our guest in.
So for me, it was kind of like you knew that's who we were going to get. Once you saw, you know, DeBanza and Peterson, no matter what, we didn't have a chance for them unless we were going to trade up.
It's been chalk pretty much. You're right.
I didn't see Boozer escaping Memphis, but it would have been a little nostalgic, you know, to have Cameron Boozer play here where his father played. I wouldn't have been mad at that. Carlos was not a bad player for us at all.
Right.
So definitely not mad at that, right?
Right.
However, I know Caleb Wilson, real height, listed in at 6'9", 211 pounds, very athletic, 66 dunks on the season, 24 games played. He had a little injury. So, you know, for me, is this the same old Chicago thing? And normally it would be a Bears thing, but a Chicago thing where now we're drafting injured players, you know, hoping that, and our medical staff hasn't been the greatest, you know, since the championships, you know.
Yeah, no, you ain't lying.
But,
so, but
you know, just
it feels like the last few drafts that we have been drafting a very similar player, or almost I feel like we're saying the same thing of like really skinny kid needs to get muscle on him. You know what I mean? And I feel like the last few drafts, that's all we've been saying. Kid looks really athletic, needs muscle on him, you know, to fit in the NBA.
And for the Bulls, though, like we either draft the same player at the same position or we just draft a bunch of guards or acquire a bunch of guards, which is, I mean, it's just weird. I mean, we have, I want to say 7 guards on the roster currently.
Mm-hmm.
We have, you know, from the likes of Isaac Okoro, we have the Japanese kid, we have Colin Sexton, Anthony Simons is still on the team. Like there's a lot of guard play. Caleb, we hope he's we hope he's the product that they expect him to be. But let's be honest, like when you look at his 19-9 and you say, well, how is 19-9 not impactful? I urge Bulls fan base to go back to Luol Deng when Luol Deng was averaging 18, 19, 20 points a game. And you're like, wait a minute, he had 20 points? Where?
Yeah. How?
Right. It was not like impactful. It's like you just remember like the 3-4 dunks that Caleb has, but shoots 26% from 3, which is not good. I think he took like 58 or 63s this year. He took too many threes, basically, to, you know, be shooting that poor.
Clearly not his strength.
I mean, it's not much not to like. Is he moving the needle for us? I mean, a 6'9", 211-pound power forward, we got 3 more of them on the roster. So, you know, he's not really moving the needle for me in that aspect, right?
I hear you. But do you at least like what he brings to the table compared to the other guys? Does he bring a different skill set, or do you think it's almost a replica of what we already have? I get the size and whatnot is similar, but what about the actual skill set that he brings?
So if you ask me what is the difference between him and Montez Buzelis right now,
Not much.
I really can't call it. They're both high flyers. They both can chase down blocks. Neither one of them can shoot. It's like you just drafted the same guy. Right. You have a guy in Noah Asanye who's on the roster, and to me, he's the same guy, right? It's like, when are we gonna, and I'm not saying that he's not, gonna be this, but when you kind of look at what we already have on the roster, you're kind of like, damn, I've seen this story before, and you just get tired of seeing it.
More of the same, yeah.
More of the same. At least it's not Patrick Williams, though.
Yeah. Let's try not to bring. Yeah, that's giving me indigestion already just thinking about that. So let's go ahead and get our guest in here and stuff. Maybe they can help us, and I'm sure they have an opinion on what's been going on with this draft so far. So why don't you bring in the guest that you're familiar with, and then I'll bring in our other guest. So you go ahead and introduce the one that you had with.
Coming to the stage, somebody that's been here before. He's a patron of the show, always supporting, always watching. Great conversationalist. He is a coach of a flag football team. Just a well-rounded dude, a good entrepreneur. Let's bring him in. Coach Cool. Coach Cool, everybody.
Feels suspicious.
Yeah, and I mean, Jaquan.
You know what? I do apologize. I guess that was a video. My bad. I apologize. He still hasn't here. Let's go ahead and get Coach Bearsky in here. That's a video that Bearsky has loaded up for us. I thought the way it was labeled, I thought it was our guest there. So I apologize about that. So let's rewind the tape, forget that happened, and just go ahead and get our boy Bearsky in here. Welcome to the Clubhouse. How you doing?
Smooth, boys. Nice. Nice.
Yeah, stop the cap.
Actually, at this point, you might as well just play the clip. I just wanted to actually share with you guys. We don't do a show every week, but we started the channel with the idea of just doing a podcast, kind of like you guys are doing. We're talking on the fucking phone anyway, right? So we're like, we might as well get this out there. And I wanted to put some video to context because we weren't doing live. We were doing offline. So I had some chance to kind of edit it a little bit, and it's like everybody liked the videos, and that's kind of what took off on my channel. But during the season, we still do our podcasts weekly. It probably loses us subscribers. I mean, go ahead and let's find out why.
Okay, so let's go ahead and play this.
I had a concussion for the rest of Matt Eberflus's career here, right?
Good call by the whoever this coordinator was. And that would be me.
I had a concussion the entire Matt Eberflus career. What the fuck are you talking about?
Like 30 seconds left, kind of scrambling. You got a timeout in your pocket, maybe call it.
Yeah, if you need it, you call it.
Okay, but you know when to call them?
Yeah.
Botched at the end by the Bears.
Dude, slammed my fucking head.
Right.
Yeah, I just wanted to share a little clip of, kind of how our show goes. So it's pretty much just free for all between us. But yeah, I seriously, I'm so thankful every day that guy is gone. Could you guys imagine if we still had him here? So, no, yeah, that's why I
try not to,
for sure. But so speaking of the Bulls and everything like that, JB, I got to give it to you because I'm so invested in the football. Like I like basketball. I like basketball probably better than baseball. I don't pay attention to enough of it. I just get little glimpses and whatever, and I don't talk to anybody about it. So the first time I heard Caleb Wilson, I was just like, oh, that must be a play on words on Caleb Williams. Like there must be a dude or something, and they're giving him that nickname. And I was like, no, that's an actual guy. My Polish ass went right over my head. Yeah. But I didn't know much about him until you just broke down his stats. Would you say 66 dunks, 6'9"? It's like, all right, like I got a little information out of that. So thank you for that, man. That was very, very good and nice. And like, that's kind of how I always wind up hearing about it. But I know.
What do you think, though?
I was going to
JB,
say one more thing. I know you guys mentioned just putting on weight in the NBA, right? So, like, because I'm watching away from so far away, I really kind of just get a general glimpse at things like that. Like, wasn't that Giannis, though? When Giannis came into the league, wasn't he like 6'11"? Wasn't he a skinny dude? And it's like when he put on weight, it's just like, go ahead and stop that thing. You know what I mean? Is that kind of like the idea behind it, or no?
I mean,
that's like a reoccurring theme with the.
But that he's the outlier. He's not the norm because nobody puts on the muscle that he did. If you look at like a Kevin Durant, who's still very, very rail thin.
You're right. He's still lanky. Yeah.
Kevin Garnett was rail thin. The kid that we have, I don't know how we traded for him, but whatever, Nicholas Claxton. He's a 6'11" center who's 215 pounds, rail thin. Like, if you're not putting that time in the gym, man, it's not. The food is not going to do it.
Yeah, and that alone, and that's the thing I was going to say is that has been his comp, though. Caleb Wilson is Kevin Garnett, or at least that I've heard him in some areas and stuff. So, I mean, if we can get a version of that, that'll definitely be awesome. But, I mean, of course, Kevin Garnett's just a whole different beast in his work ethic, like you were saying, and his heart and the type of dog that he is on the court. So, I mean, I don't know if Caleb Wilson necessarily has that part of him in his game at all.
I mean, it's hard to tell. Like I said, he played 24 games. When he got when he got hurt, that kind of changed the trajectory of North Carolina, of what they had going on. He's not. If you were to say, what does he do best? I mean, it's dunk, right? Because it's his athleticism that people are overly hyped about, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, 7 for 27 for 3 is like,
that's
it's like, it's not really moving the needle, and
kind of one-dimensional at that point.
And we've seen, so many other guys like. We draft LaMarcus Aldridge, and then we trade him for Tyrus Thomas, somebody that's just like this, dunk, athletic, can block. And then when it comes down to playing basketball, it's like, hell, he couldn't hit water if he fell off a boat.
Right.
You just get, you just get tired of seeing it. And it's not to say that the kid can't get better, can't get improved. We've seen these stories, but for me, what we have going on with the Bulls now, just going out of the Billy Donovan years, and I mean, Bearsky, I don't know how much you follow this, but, we got a new coach. Tiago.
Yeah, I mean, right. I mean, I'm a pretty regular ESPN 1000 listener, so I catch a good amount of, of everything. But ask me what he looks like, I have no idea. You know what I mean? So.
I mean, he looked like a young Lurch. He's a handsome man.
No,
but it's just.
Yeah, go ahead.
It just doesn't move the needle again, fellas. Like, people, and this is just like fandom, right? We look at the Billy Donovan years and we say, what? King of the play-in, right? 39 wins here, 40 wins here, 46 was like the high water mark, 41 and 41 with the guy before him. Like, we keep hiring like that same guy, and people want to talk about how much Tiago Splitter did for the Portland Trailblazers and how he brought them to the playoffs and galvanized. First of all, they got a better roster than we do. Let's just keep it honest. They do.
Yeah.
And it's not like he took a losing team this past season and brought them from like the depths of the cellar and brought them to the playoff. No. He took over the week of Halloween, which is when Chauncey Billups got in trouble. So he really basically coached the whole year. Yeah. And he was 42 and 40. Like, what about 42 and 40 is like, yeah, that's our guy. We just left the guy that was giving us 42 and 40. We just got underneath that. So,
and like you said, we're giving them a less talented roster. So I mean,
so we're supposed to get excited to have that again, or worse. Like, no.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Crooked. No, because I was going to go on for a while with this next one. So
Yeah, well, just my fingers real quick. With Splitter, my biggest thing, and even I know we still have to see the rest of this draft, but I still don't think we're really going to get any kind of a really big indication of kind of what offensive scheme or kind of how he's going to want to attack, offensively as well. I mean, it's one of those things where not everybody can run the triangle, and it's not just one to where you can just say, oh, we're going to do this. So it'll be interesting. Usually you can kind of tell what direction they're going to go in by the type of players that they're kind of getting as well. Mm-hmm. I'm still looking at this roster and not even really trying to see are they trying to be a 3-point shooting team? They're trying to be just a big team, you know what I mean? Or what the hell is the strategy? Is it a defensive team and just lock teams up the whole time? I just don't know what direction they're going to take this team at all. Go ahead, Bearsky.
No, yeah, for sure. As long as I always kind of generalize it like this: whatever kind of team you are in whatever kind of sport, I think it's more important for everybody to just be on the same page about that, because you're trying to develop consistency in a game plan, right? So whether it's like the triangle or something, as long as you're all bought in, you do something enough. I mean, I'll compare to football. When it comes to 4th and 2, you're going for it. You know which play you're running. You've done this. You've been there. You're bought into that type of mindset, that game plan. Like, and when there's, in sports, man, there's very little time to think, and when you don't have to think, when you can just react, it always takes that next level. And you said something about the needle moving, guys. I just wanted to share something kind of, like special, because like my whole philosophy about the NFL. I mean, I've been called pessimistic. I've been called a hater. What it is though I have very extremely high expectations for the sports team that I love. Like for me, it is Super Bowl or bust. I was very happy with last year. They overachieved. They still fell short. Like it still sucked losing. I don't want to lose once I get into the playoffs. Like to me, it's just that's falling short. You still fell short. Good job, but you still fell short. And it does boil down to the Bulls. It does boil down to the 90s. I mean, I came here as a kid in 94. My first 3 years here, I mean, I thought We Are the Champions by Queen was written like as a Bulls theme song. I didn't even know about Queen, so just being a foreign kid in this new country, the first 3 years were a goddamn party here. But witnessing that was something spectacular. And I compared it to somebody recently like this. Like there is winning by technicality, right? Like winning by loophole. And like you can exploit that. Rodgers was very, very, very good of snapping the ball when your fattest lineman can't make it to the fucking sideline and has half of a foot, you know what I mean, on the green turf. Yeah. That's a free play, man. It's either fucking touchdown or 15 yards or whatever the hell, right? Like, and yes, you're exploiting a technicality. Michael Jordan would let you have that. He didn't care. He was gonna he dominated the best mentally. Like it was a certain level of dominance. That's why when this whole even LeBron conversation came up, I always scoffed at it, man. The feeling, just remember the feeling, like to know you're going to win. You know what I mean? It's just that's such a high bar for this town. And like, man, go ahead.
No, for sure. The expectations I don't think will ever be able to be met as far as this Bulls basketball from what we were able to taste in that 90s era and run and whatnot. But Jordan definitely, to your point, him doing that, he didn't mind making the game harder on himself because it made it that much better, I think, when he was able to achieve it. And it's like one of those things where it's like, it felt like his mindset is like, I don't want no excuses for my opponents. I want them to be in peak performance. I want them to be feeling as good as possible. So when I win and I just don't barely win and I dominate, there's just no question about it. You know what I mean? They leave that court feeling more defeated and dejected in losing that because it's like they know, like, shit, I gave them absolutely my best shot.
Everything. He wanted everything. And if it fails, at least you wanted to know you gave it everything. You know what I mean? There's no doubt.
So to be cliche, Michael Jordan's not walking through that door, fellas.
Oh, well, yeah.
He's not.
I don't think we'll ever see that again.
So we're no closer right now to 28 years ago was when we won the championship. It's been 28 years. 2 short years, it'll be 30 piece.
Yeah.
And throughout the draft, I mean, we've had some questionable drafts. Patrick Williams, the whole Tyrus Thomas thing we just talked about. We've had some questionable drafts. We've also had some questionable coaching decisions, including Tibbs playing Derrick Rose right off the team.
Yeah.
You know, we're up 19 with 2 minutes left and he's still in the game, or 3 minutes left, he's still in the game, like stupid stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then
Tibbs
Tibbs
was crazy. I like that crazy, but he was crazy. Yeah.
And it was not really crazy like a fox, just crazy like mental institution crazy. You know,
rabid fucking dog crazy.
Right.
Just keep going. Yeah.
But when you look at it, we are one of the few cities that has won a championship in every major sport and sub-major sport.
Yeah.
All the way back to the Chicago Sting and the early Blackhawks, to the Bulls, to the White Sox, to the Cubs. We've won. To the Chicago Fire. We've won. We've won. But we do know what winning is. However, with the exception of the Bulls and the Blackhawks, we fall short winning with any consistency. So right now, are the Bears in a better position than they were before? Of course they were. Has that story been written yet? No, because remember, Matt Nagy was 12-4 too his first year. Got a really good thing, and we thought he was going on his way. Then year 2 happened. He got figured out. Right now with the Bulls, we spent 6 years with Billy Donovan, and I can't tell you any one of them was impactful. Hell, he never won 50 games here.
Right.
Whether you had a good team or not. You had 2 25-point scorers and still couldn't get over the hump. You went and traded 2 first-round picks for the center that everybody wanted but didn't want. And you didn't get anything for him when you traded him to Boston. You got second-round picks. You didn't even get a first-round pick back.
Right.
So just hiring the same people that are making the same mistakes, hiring the incompetent GM, hiring the president that gets his accolades based off the work of somebody else. We don't hire the guy that's been through the mud. We don't hire the guy that's proven. We don't hire the big name.
Damn.
Every head coach we've had, with the exception, if I'm not mistaken, with the exception of Scott Skiles, pre my time being born, so pre the 80s, has never been a head coach before. We're the king of giving people their first shot, good or bad. Now, Billy Donovan was the most probably proven, but even he didn't accomplish what Scott Brooks did. Scott Brooks took the OKC Thunder to the championship.
Yeah.
When Billy Donovan took over for Scott Brooks, they didn't go to the championship. Russ had his triple-double, his MVP, and then he's every year lost more games. And this is the guy we hire. And it's just it's disheartening that you look at the Bulls roster and you get this young kid and you say, hey, kid, Caleb Wilson, North Carolina. Maybe you're Evan Mobley, maybe you're Kevin Garnett, maybe you're Anthony Bennett. We don't know. But you want to put that type of pressure on this kid, right, with this lineup that ain't worth a damn, and expect him to make a miracle? Come on, man. With a first-time head coach that we don't know nothing about, whose claim to fame is a record that the last coach we had was the king of. I don't see.
You know, it's funny, man. It's just you just gotta fucking win. Like, just go out there and win games. And it's like, you got the same thing going on the Bears. And it's fine. It's fine that we have a first-year head coach. It's fine that we have a second-year new guy quarterback, because they're goddamn winning games. So, like, all these things go away and disappear when you're getting the job done and you're good. And like, you're just not getting the job done. And, you know, it's interesting to me because, like you were saying with Matt Nagy, for example, going 12-4, like me personally, and this is why I love doing the podcast and getting it out there, because it's out there and I have it and it's dated, so I could go back to it. Like that clip you played, the reason why David was bashing his head, because it's like a year and a half into Eberflus. That second year when we went 0-4, that after that game against the Broncos, we were like, this guy's done. And then we watched it play out for another year as we're bashing our heads and like we've been done, and now we have to argue. Oh, but he's a good defensive coordinator. Shut the fuck up. The guy's lost. He is lost out there. And after Caleb's first year, I was like, man, you saw the comebacks. They just didn't result in wins. the team botched it. Whether you killed 30 seconds against the Packers for no reason, or whether you don't call a timeout against the Lions, or whether you whatever the hell you keep
or whether you don't kick the field goal when you should have, and
whatever.
then you don't even onside kick.
Caleb still was doing the job. And I have an end of the year episode after that first year that I said, like, I know what I see in this quarterback. It's there, and we're already ruining it. I was like, I can't do this again. Like, I just can't. And, like, this year was such a breath of fresh air. And I was not happy through week 9 either. But, you know, everything's going right for that team. And like, it's not for the Bulls, man. It's just
but
not. And so it's like,
Bearsky, that's part
what
of
hope do you have been getting better? Like, if it's not clicking right away, I would have very little patience in major sports.
But those two franchises, the Bears and the Bulls, kind of are walking, you know, harmoniously and in synchronized step too. Because if you look at the Bears, they never hired a first-time head coach they never hired an accomplished head coach except for one, John Fox.
JB, I was going to say, and I am one to think that John Fox did a much better job here than Matt Nagy. Even though Matt Nagy won Coach of the Year, even though he got 12 wins, John Fox came in here to clean up this locker room in 3 years, and goddamn, is like a true professional. Ended his career on this shitty hellhole and did exactly what he was supposed to do. Left us Vic Fangio, which is why we were 12-4, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, that little bubble of joy, I saw it the whole time. I was bitching about. I was like, this guy is hanging up disco balls in the locker room during the third quarter, not coaching the game. He's getting ready for Club Dub. When's the last time you saw Club Dub with Ben Johnson?
Oh, you don't. You know,
I don't think you will, because it's a different brand. But here we go
that
again.
man has everybody locked in, dude.
You get
that's real. I feel so much better about
John
this damn team right now.
But you get a John Fox. Let's go back to that and relate that to the Bulls. You get a John Fox. Been to 2 Super Bowls with 2 different teams. Obviously, the man can coach. I would rather have John Fox come tell my new GM, my new president, hey, this is how we do this.
Yep. And
he says we need a quarterback.
Change
give
culture,
him Mike
man.
Glennon. And he's like, Mike Glennon?
Who the fuck?
Oh, well, we're not going to do that. In the draft, Deshaun Watson, Patrick Mahomes, yeah, I'll take one of those. Mitch Trubisky. He's like, what the hell? I didn't ask for Mitch Trubisky.
Dude, I remember screaming.
Well,
I was working at a park district place. I locked myself in a room with a laptop. And when they traded it up, I was like, I guess we'll take Solomon Thomas. And they're like, they said Mitch Trubisky. I almost broke my laptop. I remember.
Yeah, that was
traded up. And I'm a ski, man. Like,
that's the same thing. That's the same thing that's here. You have new president, new vice president, soon to be new GM. Do you think you would get a veteran or at least a super knowledgeable coach like a Sam Cassell or somebody that's an assistant that's been around, or a Anthony Hardaway, or a Mike Malone, which would have been perfect before he went to North Carolina? Hell, he's just coming off a championship 2 years ago. Or, you know, at least give me what's my man, Monty Williams or something. You give me somebody that's never done it before, and on an interim level, he gets kudos because he's a playing guy. 42-40. Like, when are we going to stop?
I definitely would have loved to see Monty Williams over here, getting to kind of see him in Phoenix, being in Phoenix, and seeing that team that was put together there. That I think he could have. I would have liked the direction he would have took. The team would have definitely been more exciting on the offensive side of the ball for sure. But I was wondering with Tiago, you said he got to coach Portland for the majority of the time or a decent part of the season. Mm-hmm. Were they leading the NBA or kind of at least on the top of the NBA in any kind of particular category, whether it be rebounding or maybe shooting percentage in some area? Like,
I think
they
thrive? Because I haven't looked it up in a while since the basketball season has been over, but I believe they were pretty good in pace and pretty good in transition. However, they have a player, Danny Avia, that was averaging like 25, 7, and 8. We don't have that guy here. we don't have a Danny Avia. You know, we don't have a Shaden Sharp. Like we don't even have an old broke down Dame Lillard. We don't have that here.
Yeah, no.
And 42 and 40 is not impressive, guys. Like that is the ultimate mediocrity. Do you remember we had a coach named Vinny Del Negro that always hovered 41 and 41, 41 and 41, 40 and 42? Like, when are we going to get to 50 wins again? Let's just start there, because people are dropping 50 wins like it's like they falling out of bed. We can't get 50 wins. When's the just
we're gonna have to get a coach like Tibbs again. Really?
Well, just curious if anybody in the chat knows, when is the last, because I know, but when is the last time we won 50 games? Anybody? Bueller.
How about this? Was Jimmy Butler on this team?
Aha.
I think so.
See, I can't tell you when, but like I said, I have a general idea.
So is that 2018?
No, you got to go back further.
Oh shit.
And the name Jimmy Butler is very key, because he was the highest in win shares. But if you remember, right, in 2014, that was when Tibbs lost in the Eastern Conference Finals. Remember, we went to the Eastern Conference Finals. Tibbs, was that his second to last year or his last year? I think that was the second, because it was the last time we won 50 games. Because when we had Derrick Rose that year in 2010, remember, we went 62 and 20. We were the number one team in the league. And we beat Miami 4 times in the regular season. Then in the playoffs, we won game 1 in the Eastern Conference Finals. And then they just, Kyle Korver forgot how to shoot. The next year, Keith Bogan didn't want to shoot no more. Just a bunch of crazies. Or no, couldn't shoot. That's what it was. He couldn't make it. And then we had what's his name? Right after Thibodeau, we had Fred Hoiberg. Remember Fred Hoiberg? He actually played for the Bulls, right?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Did he from what? Ohio State, was it?
No, Iowa. Yeah.
Iowa World and Apology. That's what it is.
Right. Iowa, right. But even with that, right, we still talking about a guy that was 41 and 41, 42 and 40. Like, they never climbed the threshold. And then here we go with the 20 wins again. Like, we keep getting the same guy.
It's the cheapest option, it seems like.
Well, cheap ain't been working.
Who can we? No, it hasn't been, but it's been working for their pocketbook, for their, you know what I mean, for the owners. But like, it almost seems like, who will take this job underneath this salary? You know what I mean? And then it's kind of like goes from there. No. Okay, these 3. All right, we'll pick from these 3 that are willing to accept this kind of base pay or whatnot. That's all, because like that's all I'm willing to pay.
But do we even know how much they're paying? Because normally the details of somebody's contract would have been out by now.
No, it's true, because they did the same thing with Billy Donovan the last few years, where they've been like, oh, we extended him, or we gave him, added more years to his contract. And I'm like, okay, what are the exact details? 2 more years, 1 more year, and they just kept it close to the vest. Yeah,
it was just a secret. And I'm like, since when do we? I need to know that Ben Johnson's making $13 million a year, because he needs to prove that he's worth $13 million a year.
Right.
I need to know that Billy Donovan, who's not worth 2 dead flies smashed, if he's $8 million, 5, 6, 4, 3, 2, 1. I don't know. It's hard to tell, bro. It's hard to tell.
You know what I like about this conversation tonight? You could really I think you could really feel the fandom. It's like every time JB talks, it goes towards Bulls. Every time I talk, it comes back towards the Bears, because that's where I like to take it. And I shared my history of my love for Michael Jordan with you guys. I shared my Iowa joke with you guys too. And I went to Minnesota and St. Paul, and I was doing a tour of the salt mines. So the guy giving us a tour, he had 2 Iowa jokes. That one, Iowa World and Apology, and he said, idiots out wandering around. And Iowa and Minnesota are right above each other. And I'm like, is this the Illinois and Wisconsin thing just going on next door in Iowa and Minnesota? Which, like, I was at a concert once up in Milwaukee, and we were, smoking a dude with some guy in the crowd who was a Packers fan. He told me, he's like, we call you guys Fibs. And I was like, what's that? He's like, fucking Illinois bastards. And I was like, oh.
Whoa.
Like, yeah, that's what it stands for, Fibs. Yeah. And he's like, you guys, he's like, do you have something you call us? And boys, I don't want to repeat everything I said. I was like, you motherfucker. I went off on the man. I was like, yeah, that's what we call you. My hate for the cheeseheads is very real, very natural. And yeah, dude, and my love for greatness and the bar that Michael Jordan set here is also very natural and very real. And I don't know if you guys remember, I was thinking about this, but remember when we had Hard Knocks here?
Yes.
Right after Caleb got drafted. That very first episode.
The first time we ever had.
Yes, and the very first episode, the beginning of it. Do you remember when they called him out with the Bulls theme song, like Michael Jordan?
Oh,
yeah.
And now, whatever. And I remember just sitting there going,
cringe.
Yeah, very cringe. Like I like the kid. I want the best for the kid. I believe in the kid. Come on now. What are you doing to the kid? Like, just we can leave all that out. You know what I mean? And I think we all did. I think everybody locked it in the back of their damn heads and forgot about it because it was like never spoken to again. And I've shown people this and they think I made it. And it's like, no, dude, I pulled it from Hard Knocks. I had to make some music around it. Mm-hmm. But I told you, I don't think we'll ever touch Michael, But the score, the man, don't piss him off. He's going to put 40 up on you in the fourth quarter or in the, Dude, what are we seeing with Caleb? It's that clutch moment, that realism, that swag, dude. The hands in the pockets after you. Come on, like a little bit of that feels Jordan-esque, and I was at that playoff game when we were down 21-3, and like I said, you just knew we were coming away with the win, and so I wanted to play this video for you guys because it's the only I don't do any basketball stuff, but I decided to take a little little something different here. So if you guys want to play it and check it out,
all right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Only franchise in the NFL that has never had a quarterback throw for 4,000 plus yards.
The excitement level is mounting for Caleb in Chicago in a Bears uniform.
100 out of 100. He's going to be the best Bears quarterback ever.
Caleb Williams has the opportunity to be the biggest thing in Chicago since Michael Jordan.
And now, the starting lineup for your Chicago Bears. From Southern California, at quarterback, 6'1", Caleb Williams.
You ask all my teammates, the one thing about Michael Jordan was he never asked me to do something that he didn't fucking do. I wanted to win, but I wanted them to win and be a part of that as well. Like, I don't have to do this. I'm only doing it because it is who I am. That's how I played the game. That was my mentality. If you don't want to play that way, don't play that way.
Good, better, bad. Good, better, bad. Never let it rest. Never let it rest. Good gets better. Good gets better. It better get better. It better get better. Bears on 3. 1, 2, 3. Bears!
Legacy, your name, everything.
That's us.
I like that, Bearsky. I like that. I like that.
Yeah,
brother.
I figured it was the right video to bring to the table for tonight's show. So I hope I made a good pick there, man.
If Caleb has an ounce of MJ in him, which he is showing signs of clutchness. He's showing signs of not showing signs. He's showing elite level clutch gene.
Dude, you were saying, what do you have to do to get out of this? Like, dude, Michael came onto a shitty team. Michael didn't win for 6 years. Consistency was there. His consistency was there. He changed it. It might be what you have to do. It might be, it sucks. It's a high bar, but man, you might just need somebody special to change it. I don't know.
I'm not going to debate that part at all. I'm going to enhance your conversation by saying if imitation is always the greatest form of flattery, and the comparison of Caleb is not your ceiling, but your equal or apparent equal is Michael Jordan, I'll take it.
I don't think you need because obviously two different sports. But what? Honestly, what? 2 Super Bowls? 2 Super Bowls is like,
if he gets one,
that's solid. If he gets 2, that's. right? Like that's how I see it.
Yeah,
let's put that in the parking lot and come back to it when
the new state
just come on. Yeah, because I like where you're going with that, and I kind of want to pick your brain on something with that. So let's table that and we'll come back.
I think I know. I think I know what it would be too, but okay, for sure.
You might see where I'm going with it, right? Okay, cool. But even with that being said, like, can we all agree that as fans, we have not been given even a snippet of what we had with those Bulls teams, those 3-3-peats?
Oh no.
The closest was the Derrick, but it was only 1 year.
Yep.
But even the drafting of those type of players, hell, I would love to have a Horace Grant on this team.
But
I would love to have a Dennis Rodman.
Since Derrick, this is it.
Hold on.
The Bulls picks coming in. That's why I was saying, hold on. Support
Dan Sweeney. Oh, come on, man. Hold on.
It's like when the
Bears
picked Rome. When the Bears picked Rome, I was like, God damn it! Is he gonna go smash something? Are we gonna get one of those viral videos of somebody breaking their TV?
Possibly. It's a 6'8" guard, 120 pounds,
TV and just smash it. Just come in, throw it at the camera.
And then he's going to come back and be like, well, I need a new flat screen, boys. My TV
right.
fell.
As long as the mic works. And, no, just sits down and just starts talking with his normal cadence like nothing happened. Camera's all twitchy and it'd be perfect. No?
So the pick is in.
Yeah.
The pick is Dalen Swain out of Texas.
We see that you're thrilled. It's a guard, right? Another guard?
He's a guard.
Tall guard. 6'8". Jesus.
He's not bad. I believe is he left-handed, I believe, and he had a little bit of a nice little game in the playoffs, and not the playoffs, with the March Madness. I'm not mad at that pick. It gives us a little bit of depth and scoring to help Giddey out. He's not a three-point shooter though. He's not like we keep getting these guys who freaking can't shoot the threes. Like, I just feel class kid. He took his NIL money and paid off his mother's college tuition debt. So class kid.
Yeah.
I'm see, this is hard because you get into untapped territory, guys, when but
well, see, and that's the thing, is we don't know how Splitters, how is he going to use all these pieces now that are a lot of similar pieces as far as, like you said, the build of them, a lot of 6'8" tall skinny dudes.
But here's the thing, and this is where I'm going to say they're going to think I'm crazy, but I don't really give a damn. I actually like the Dalen Swain pick better than I like the Caleb Wilson pick.
Stop the cap.
And the reason why is because you finally addressed a 3-level scorer who doesn't need he doesn't need like 30 picks to get to the bucket. He's not 6'3" playing power forward. And God knows he's not Patrick Williams. I just want that guy out of here. Like, we need to pay for a billboard, get his ass out of here.
Yeah, no, I think the only way they're getting rid of him is they just got to flat out cut him. I know everybody in our group chat talks about possibly trading him, but like, I just don't see anybody seeing any kind of value in him at all, really. Especially with the contract, or it's one of those things where if you trade him, you got to take on 90% of the contract, and that really kind of, exit out the reason why to even trade him for at all. At that point, but I do agree he is dead weight on this team. I mean, for every
but you're
one
trading him,
game he has, he's got like
he actually serves two purposes though. If you think about it,
okay,
he's a $90 million extension player, right? But he's
contract ending.
He's not going to start over Caleb Wilson. regardless of the money, he's not going to start over Caleb Wilson. That would just be stupid.
Correct.
But if you want to trade for somebody of substance, he's the person that can help chip the money away because, you know, you got to come within, I think, 25% of NBA contracts to make the trade. He could be a piece that somebody could say, well, you know what, I'll take him for 1 year because once he falls off the books, I'll get that money back. But is that going to be next year? The year? It was a stupid draft pick because you needed, at that time, you needed a big man or a point guard. He's neither. And you chose to take him instead of Tyrese Halliburton, who just went to the freaking finals last year. Like,
yeah. Well, let's we talked about earlier in the evening that we had another guest that was joining us tonight. He has made his way into the clubhouse here. We gave him an introduction earlier as one of JB's friends. He's a returning guest to the clubhouse. We always ask our guests to come back and chop it up with us again. And he did just that. So please welcome back to the clubhouse, Jonathan Miner. Coach Miner, is that it?
Yeah, but they call me Coach Cool, not Coach Mike.
My bad. My bad, Mr. Cool. Mr. Cool, how you doing, sir?
I'm all right. I'm blessed today. How y'all doing?
Right.
Good. So you rocking with the Bulls hat. We were kind of just talking about them. Want to give us your thoughts on what they did with their first two picks here?
I thought Caleb Wilson was a great pick. He was already projected to come to us anyway, as we needed somebody with that type of upside and the ability to put on the show for the fans. We need to pack that building again, you know, as we're trying to get some of the Bull fans to come back after the seemingly decades we've been, you know, trash for the most part, especially under AK's leadership. But
it's been a hard watch.
The Swain kid, I like the Swain kid. I'm gonna have to do a little bit more homework on him, as I only seen a few of his highlights and some of his upside and stuff like that. But I thought Cameron Carr would have been a better pick.
From Baylor.
Yeah. He was on the board at the time.
But he's just smaller. I like Cameron Carr though. He's a dog, but he's just smaller. Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm pleased with the two picks. We want to see how they pan out. I'm especially excited for Caleb Wilson and, you know, all the things we got to look forward to, what he's going to bring to the table. And we got the right coach, you know, seemingly, you know, as far as player development and pairing with him to kind of bring out his full potential, maybe more sooner than later.
Yeah, I was just about to ask you your thoughts on Splitter being hired as a coach. Was that someone that when they made that hire, were you kind of lifting your eyebrows and a little surprised with that? Were you expecting maybe a different name to come across the board? And if so, like I said, are you happy about that? Do you kind of see him trying to incorporate what was going on in Portland over here, or do you envision something else he's going to bring to the Bulls?
Well, Tiago's name was always in the mix. And among some of my other guys that, you know, we talk Bulls and Bears pretty heavily, you know, he was a favorite on some of their desks. Now, as I didn't have a clear favorite because I wanted to see the direction in which they were trying to go, his name, it became a favorite of mine as for what we need him to, you know, like I say, bring to the table. I feel like player development and culture is what we need to establish here first and foremost, and the identity that you're going to accept. So if we're going to be a defensive-minded team with that type of scoring ability, then that's the way you need to come in here and set that standard right off the bat. Tiago, with the background of developing talent over the years, is a little bit more fitting for the youth movement here, because you want to invest in developing your players and at the same time not burning a lot of salary cap trying to lure veterans here Now you cap strap, you kind of, invested in maybe a little over the hill veterans that you think that'll make your team relevant, which, will kind of still be lingering around in that 7th or 8th or play-in type of seed, that type of purgatory right there that, even with the team that AK put together, we could never really get out of that realm. It's like the Pittsburgh Steelers can never get a top 10 pick. We just sitting in the middle of the pack getting middle talent. So with the whole flushing of everything, and you bring in a coach like that, and then with the position that we lucked up in just to get the number four pick, which guaranteed us some type of franchise talent drafting, and pairing him with the right young talent, we have an opportunity to do something a little bit more, like I said, a little bit more sooner than later. So I feel like it's a good hire for the time being. Good contract to see if he can really get it done in 3 years, establish the culture, develop some of the young players that you put around him, and then maybe spend a little bit of the salary cap and grabbing some veterans to give the youth some poise in some of the tough games and mentoring them along the way.
Coach Cool, I have a question for you, real quick. Do you think it's more important for how about this? Would you rather have a simple scheme where everybody's bought in, or something more complex but not everybody's bought into it?
I would rather have a simple scheme that everybody's bought into, and then you can make it a little bit more complex.
Do you think that translates into professional sports as well? Are you always just kind of learning along the way? Is it kind of just tiers?
I believe so. I mean, you cannot force a player to learn a complex scheme if his mindset won't grasp it. If you establish a continuity with everybody being bought into something that's simple, then you can, baby spoon other plays and more complex schemes into what you already have as a foundation. And I think that's the more proper way to do that. I think you'll get more results with, something like what Ben did. His scheme can be complex within itself, but simplifying it and getting everybody on board for, to grasp the simple things. And now in year 2, I can, give you a little bit more.
So, add more to that plate.
I said it earlier, and I was just trying to find a different way for somebody else to explain it, but I completely agree. And the way I said it was, on 4th down, if everybody's bought in, there's no question of what we're doing. You don't have to think about it. Everybody knows, right? Exactly. So that's already step 1's already taken if the continuity is there, if everybody's on the same page.
Yes. It builds more chemistry. It adds to the confidence, everybody being on the same page, being on board, sharing that same energy, because you know what we're about to do.
Right.
So I have 2 questions for you, Coach Cool. The first one is for you direct. The second one is for everybody because I just got some information, so I'll save the second one, the information for the second question. But I heard you say that you are excited, and Thiago Splitter was basically on one of your short lists. You were happy for us to get him. But just going over him versus other coaches, he took over the week of Halloween, which basically means he coached the whole season. They went 42-40. What about 42-40 with a better roster makes you want to say that this is the guy, or you like this guy, versus Billy Donovan giving us 41, 42, 38, 39, 40, 42 wins his whole time here? It's like recycling the same shit.
Well, I get the question, but I don't see it that way. I think breaking it down in the simplicity of what I do like that Splitter brings to the table is, first and foremost, that the players have to buy into what you're talking about. They have to understand and then want to go out there and play for you. Once you establish that, which we were talking about, player development. No, you're not going to have any success. You coming in here as an offensive-minded coach and trying to apply complex schemes where you think you're going to be top 5, top 10 offense. You know, you can come in here trying to be a defensive-minded coach like a Tibbs or something like that, from that little tree and try and force these players to run a scheme instead of actually getting to know the talent on your roster. Now, once you do that and you start developing that, then you can start to see the success that it might have on the court, because you'll have a team that's bought into the coach and going out there fulfilling, you know what I'm saying, the vision of the coach and also the culture you're trying to establish. So, I mean, the jury is still out on any new head coach. And even though that's our Portland team that is probably going to be projected to have, in comparison to what we might put on the floor this upcoming season to what they had last season, the Bulls might have a little bit more talent to work with. With that being said, if they buy into the coach and Tiago does what his resume say that he's good at, which is first and foremost developing the players and establishing a culture, then you should see wins translate from that. Keeping some of your assistant coaches to help with offense. I think he's a defensive minded coach anyway. So, you know what I'm saying, making sure you get the best effort out of the players that you have. I think you're going to see a different result as a coach for the Bulls this up and coming season than you did with Portland last season.
So let me, JB, before you throw in your group question, going back a little bit with Billy Donovan and his regime here, do you think the reason for his lack of success is because the management didn't give him the proper pieces, or he just couldn't get those players to buy into what offensive scheme he wanted to try and run and whatnot?
Is that for me? That question is for me?
Yes, please. Coach Cool.
I totally believe that it became a certain amount of redundancy with Billy Donovan. I also believe that the players that they did try to acquire for him, injuries, lack of effort on some players. I mean, you can draft and try and sign some of these free agent players for what potential upside that they might have, which is the same kind of dream we're living on now with the rookies and the way we're kind of constructing this team. But I just feel like in the totality of the players that he did have, which is probably his best roster when we had who was that? Ball at the point guard, you know, Levine,
DeRozan,
and you can go on down the line where we had that real hot start coming out of out the gates. And then as soon as Ball went down, then it all went downhill after that. And if you're telling me that that's the best you can do as soon as one player go down, you can't really rally your team around having a sustainable success to match what Ball was doing while he was on the court. I just feel like that that Billy Donovan got promoted to a level of incompetency. You know, you can only be as you only know what you know. And once you reach that level of where you become incompetent, I think that's what we all seen as fans.
Yeah, it becomes stale for sure.
Yeah. They got redundant. So you never really seen them trend back up, nowhere near that.
Just kind of tuned out. The locker room kind of maybe just tuned them out after a while, no matter who they brought in. And so,
but also look who they drafted. You have to, if you want a certain coach to mimic success that they've had, you have to give that coach their players. You have to give that coach their type of players. And I'll just, because it's going to segue to my next question, but if you are a Boston Celtics team that shoots 53s because you're trying to mimic what the Golden State Warriors did who only shot 33s, you're not going to be able to emulate that because you don't have the players. You don't have a Steph Curry. You don't have a Klay Thompson. You know, you don't have an Andrew Wiggins or a Harrison Barnes, whatever. You just can't emulate that with just any old body because you said, oh, he can dunk a basketball and has a 40-inch vertical. But he shoots 17% from three. What did you expect? Like, and that's the type of stuff that we continue to do. So, fellas, I just got some information sent to me. Tiago Splitter's contract states he makes $7 million a year.
For how long?
They didn't give me the length. They just said the annual. So it's $7 million, right? That's what I was told.
For 3
now, I thought it was 6, or 5. I don't know the
3
length of. So I'm gonna see if that person can like hit me right back with the information about how much he actually. No, I'm sorry. How many years on the contract?
It's 3 with a team option.
So basically 3 years for 4 seasons. You can extend it for the 4th. So he's get $21 million, 28 if he takes the 4th. So $7 million a year is accurate.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And that's
here's my question to you.
6.5 million more than what Portland was going to offer him. They was offering him something like 1 million, 1.5 million to come back and coach one more year
because they know what he's really doing. You know, but here's my question to you all. Now that we know how much he makes, and we know that a Monty Williams was worth about 4 to 5. We know that a Penny Hardaway makes 2 to 3 at Memphis. We know that Sam Cassell as an assistant makes 1 to 2. We know that Mike Malone was underpaid after just getting a championship and is probably making more at North Carolina than he did in Denver. Why aren't we going after one? And Jason Kidd, I'm not even going to get started on there because he's an acquired taste. But to the panel, do you not feel that $7 million a year could have went to a more deserving coach? If not, why does this particular guy get $7 million?
Well, after hearing what Coach Cool said about what Portland was offering him, Jesus, it really does look like we overpaid like a motherfucker. Like, and if Monty Williams was in the similar pay bracket as we're willing to give Tiago, like I would have much rather have gotten Monty, like you saying, just because of the man's got finals experience. I get he didn't win, but he took the team to the finals there. So that's a little disappointing, I have to say. I ain't gonna lie there. I was assuming maybe someone of the guys like the caliber of Jason Kidd and whatnot would cost a bit more, but I mean, yeah, I mean that doesn't make me feel as good as I was feeling about 5 minutes ago, and I really wasn't that thrilled.
So Mike Malone made $8 million, and he makes $8 million now. At North Carolina.
I believe that especially the NBA just needed a new fluctuation of head coaches getting the opportunity. I feel like you can only keep recycling some of the same head coaches and paying some of the same similar money. And that's more so to your point about the Jason Kidds and the Mike Malones out there who, you know, between the two of them, I think maybe recycle 2 different jobs between, 4 between the two. And not that I doubt that they're head coaches, and I wouldn't have frowned if we would have hired Jason Kidd, but
so let's not talk about those 2. Let's talk about the others that are more deserving with more cachet, like a Sam Cassell, like a Penny Hardaway. Let's talk about 2 of those guys.
Those guys, for whatever the reason wasn't even on the list. So the new head president of basketball operations did not even consider those 2 for whatever reasons. And if Cassell was one because his name was brought up, I've not heard Penny Hardaway's name mentioned. in anybody's podcast, ESPN broadcast, anything like that, other than, you know, some of us knowledgeable guys that might link up here and then and talk about potential head coaches that you wouldn't mind seeing in the building. But for the most part, and something that I'm a big fan of this as far as supporting a fresh idea. We got a brand new basketball guy in the building, and for what we just went through, just something similar to what we went through as Bears fans, you want to see something refreshing in the building. You know, to keep beating your head against the wall, you know what I'm saying, and thinking that it's not going to be sore or you're eventually going to break through the wall is, you know, kind of, you know, it's lunacy within itself.
Insanity.
But this dude coming in here and okay, this is what I see. This is what I want. This is what I need the culture to be. And then he's grabbing pieces from his profession, what he knows, not what we know, but what he knows and what he think is right, and bringing those people in here and then fulfilling the question marks with solid answers as far as giving me something different than what I just experienced over the last decade. My ears, okay, you got Tiago, all right. Is it a contract that he got 5 years, something ridiculous? No. He got a rookie head coach offer for probably what the market is going with a successful, and even though you're looking at the numbers like 42-40, I mean, but considering the talent that was on that team, you got people that was looking at that team not to even compete for the back end of the playoff spots.
That team is better than the Bulls.
I have a question for all you guys. Because, like, this kind of sprawls off what I said earlier to you, Coach. The whole buying in, being on the same page. Well, when you get somebody fresh in there, you start back at square one, and you get everybody to buy in on the simple, and you start rebuilding that foundation of knowledge, of game plan, of everything, and you just kind of try and flip the switch. You know what I mean? This is what we're going to do. And you try and get everybody to rebuy again, right? Because things do get old, things get stale. I have this philosophy about football, and I know it doesn't translate into all sports because all sports are different. It might translate into basketball, and I'm kind of curious what you guys think. So I always felt that a coach's impact was most felt early in the season and then when it mattered most. Like, but that middle part is a lot on the players. And it's just like I always felt like the coach is there to get you set up and put you in the best position.
And the
but
players
like
gotta
once
execute.
the wheels start turning, you guys gotta grind away at this thing. And when it matters most, I want my coach to come through with the best game plan, all the tricks in the book come in the playoffs and when it matters most. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I'll agree with you on the playoff part, but for me, it's that middle part where coaching is most important because you can start off hot just off of high energy and who you play. Mm-hmm. You know, if our first two, and let's just go with, we're going to keep it with the Bulls for a little bit longer, but go to the Bears.
Right, I have a Bears mentality, so there's only 16 games for me, JB. But that's what I'm saying. It might not apply to basketball.
But you'll love this. So if the first 3 games are like the Saints, the Jets, and then maybe the Cardinals, we don't need stellar coaching to win it. We just gonna walk on the field 9 times out of 10. Not to say that any given Sunday, but we just gonna walk on the field and whip their ass anyway.
But you know what happens if you go on 3?
Right.
You know what happens if you go on 3? Like,
well, but when you start getting into that them dog days of the season, when now, oh man, my shoulder, it's week 8. Damn, when's that bye week coming? To me, that's when coaching becomes most important because 1, you have to galvanize the troops. 2, you have to keep the ship afloat, and you cannot be stale. You cannot be stale. Then in the playoffs, it's like, hey, we weathered the storm. We made it to the island. Let's go conquer.
Season number 2 is about to start.
Season number 2 is about to start.
Mr. Stats. You know, I used to argue this all the time. People were telling me, oh, Eberflus can still save us. Eberflus can crawl out of this, and that. And I'm like, I don't think good coaches in the NFL have 5 3-win seasons. I don't remember Andy Reid having a 3-win season. I don't remember Bill Belichick having a 3-win season. Like, the likeliness that you're going to crawl out from the shithole you made is very, very, very tiny. In fact, there's very few coaches that have started off that bad. I mean, I forget their names because they're so long ago. I don't even know if you would. There was a big name or two, but
you'll find a lot of them over the history. The problem is,
but that's because I think real quick. That's because I think you get those couple wins early. You have 3 wins by week 5. You know what I mean?
You'll have a team start off 3-0, and next thing you know, well, shit, they didn't finish 3-13. And like, wait, how did that happen?
Not if you got a good coach. That's what I'm saying. Like, coaching is felt early.
What's presumed to be a good coach?
I always felt like the coaches should have an individual relationship with the players. You cannot coach every player the same way. And you have to know your players individually to know how to get the best out of them. Okay. So if it, from my own coaching standpoint, or just in life period, and I'm talking to people, you know, it's a responsibility to get to know who you're talking to. Now, once I know that, now I know how to communicate with you, therefore unlocking different motivating factors and different things that I can say to you to get you going, to help you pay attention to what I need you to focus on to be successful. Okay. Because sometimes it's just not about the scheme. It's about how do I unlock you to get the best out of you. Okay. You got some people that go on the basketball court and just dive for a ball, a loose ball. That's hustle. That's hard. That's effort. You can't teach that. You can mention it and point out people and use examples of this effort that you're supposed to play, because competing as a competitor, you want to make sure that you're competing on the highest level. Okay. And sometimes that's above your skill set. Correct. You know, when you get hot, when you get in the zone, when you're really locked in, and like you said, when you know what you're doing. And it could be the simplest of schemes, but the simplest of schemes can be the most powerful thing you can come to the court or the field with, because we can execute that. I have confidence that I can execute that, and I can beat you at this. And I'll leave it with that. And more so, the thing with players, a quote that I read from Bruce Lee that I use a couple of times to get over the repetitiveness of learning how to be an expert at something. He said that I fear the man who practiced one kick 1,000 times more than the man who practiced 1,000 kicks.
Right.
One time.
Right. Yep.
So that's something to worry about. So if you can get your players to go in and lock in on a football note and go in and lock in and say, hey, we didn't have a 2-game losing streak when we started out 3-2. All right, this is what we need to do. We need to dial it back and get back to the fundamentals of what it is that it takes us to win. Not turn the ball over. Execute the plays that we have in front of us and watch where we are at the back end of the game. And if we have a chance to win, then we should win that game, because we're going to continue to keep doing what got us here in the first place. That is something you buy into because it's believable, it's sustainable, it's something that you can see that's being executed, and then your players are motivated by the truth in what you're telling them, instead of just giving them fluff and expecting them to go out there and do something unbelievable.
Yeah, my co-host is also a basketball coach. And so, you know, I've had certain conversations with him, certain stories, and he told me about this. He's like, the one kid, the tallest kid on the court, wants to shoot threes all the time because that's what he sees on TV. He's like, but finally, when he bought into just staying under the basket and he led game after game in rebounds, he got excited. It's the Bill Belichick thing. Do your job, man. But you also have a coach. As a coach, though, you got to put them in position to do that job and not ask them to do more.
Yeah.
Right. Because then you're kind of playing with fire, so to speak.
But to your point, Coach, like the execution part, and studying that one play until 1,000 times, even if they know it's coming, Sometimes they can't stop it. Look at the tush push. Look at the tush push. They know, everybody knows that shit's coming, but because they, to your point, practicing 1,000 kicks. I was telling my son, you don't practice until you get it right. You practice until you can't get it wrong. Until it's so hardwired into your system to where your body doesn't let you fucking sway your arm the other way throwing the bowling ball or whatnot. It's just natural. It's just awesome they do it. So that's the difference between the other teams there.
It's also what we said earlier about just keeping things simple and having everybody bought in. Yurko on ESPN 1000 is one of my favorite quotes. He goes, "We don't play chess until we're done playing checkers." He's like, "As a lineman, I could grab you and throw you. We don't get to the martial arts part. Like I'm just gonna grab you and throw you, right? So like he's like, you got to beat me at checkers first before we start playing chess. Go ahead and it's fundamentals, it's physical thing.
Yeah. So I want to leave us with this, fellas, before to wrap up the Bulls talk before we get into a little bit of Bears. Coach Cool, you spoke about new when you spoke about new coach, breath of fresh air, new things like that, right? It's hard going from Phil Jackson, right? Everybody can agree that is our apex.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But then you have Tim Floyd, Bill Cartwright, Scott Skiles, Vinny Del Negro, Tom Thibodeau, Fred Hoiberg, Jim Boylan. I know a lot of people forget him, and Billy Donovan. It's hard, and I mean damn hard, to get excited about Tiago Splitter after that laundry list of shit I just gave you.
Well, if you're not bringing me a coach that had won multiple championships in here, and probably to your point, maybe Malone and Kidd, then at least won one.
And been there.
Yeah. Look, I have no problem with it. It's not that I disagree with, with you in saying that we should have brought in a more veteran coach.
Or at least a player that is now a coach that actually did something. Tiago Splitter's most famous moment was getting blocked by LeBron James.
Possibly, but he got a career where his work ethic, and in some key playoff games, he did show up. He did show up and had some key moments in some key games for the Spurs championships. So, for me, I'm always a glass half full person. I try not to look at anything and try and bring the negative before I can grab the positive out of it.
But would another coach have gotten you more excited?
The two that you named would have probably tickled my fancy a little bit. But I'm not mad at the hire of Tiago based off his resume and what they said that he's supposed to be able to do with what we're trying to build here, tearing this thing all the way down from the ground and then trying to build on a more solid foundation of concrete than sand. Now, those coaches that you named before, I didn't like neither one of them. The only person that really came in here with some credentials for the most part was Donovan. And even Donovan was an okay hire for, whatever they was trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that was a novelty pick. I would say Skiles, because Skiles was the one they said he coached too hard. And I'm like, what? What's wrong with that?
Yeah.
What's wrong with that?
The exception is Skiles, but see, that can go stale on certain people. Like I said, you got some players that have more of a sensitive nature of how they receive information. Then you got some players that hard nosed, that need that hard coaching. And if you're trying to enforce your philosophy and the way you coach on everybody, instead of establishing who can take it and who can't. And when I address my team at times, or when I have in the past, it's more so, hey, you know what I'm saying? I address the team aggressively for the situation at hand, not an individual. Now, if I got an individual underperforming, I'm going to talk to that individual on on a one-on-one. I'm not going to throw them under the bus in front of the team. This is how you lose players. And sometimes because you're sitting in that role of authority, it can just push you in an area where you're not taking in consideration of some of your star players who are probably built a little bit more fragile in personality and need to be talked to in a way and motivated in a way other than you just being this hard-nosed coach. You know,
but there has to be a respect for your craft too, because a player knows a bullshitter.
The Scott Skiles is not coaching right now. And none of the players, the coaches that you name, are not currently coaching. That's because that coaching style goes stale after a while.
And now Vinny, I don't know. That's just whatever. But Fred Hoiberg's doing pretty good in Nebraska. I will say that.
Okay. But he goes back down to coaching kids
where he belongs
and catching them right where at that cusp where they need his knowledge in order to make it to the next level. Because there's levels to this. There's levels to coaching.
Fair enough, but we're going to see. He got 3 years, and I'm telling you right now, they ain't got no enough, but I'm here for it.
We'll see.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, we'll definitely see. Now when the season comes along, it'll be interesting to see what the reports are looking like once training camp kind of gets kicked off for the Bulls. And
I definitely will be watching Summer League this year.
Yeah,
right.
Be a fan of that.
Sure. Well, let's move on to a little bit of Bears talk. I know we talk a lot about Bears here at the Clubhouse, but you being a returning guest, you haven't been on the show for a while. Let's kind of start back as far back as we can. If you don't mind, we love it. Bear down, baby.
The light is on, right?
What were your thoughts, I guess, of Caleb Williams' development from year one under Ben Johnson, and how this most recent season, wrapped up and played out for the Bears? What were your thoughts of the season? And like I said, Caleb.
That's a good question. I was pleased. I was pleased for the growth in the season. Already the talent that he had as far as being drafted as a rookie, coming in with this bag that he had. And, it's hard to see it when you don't have the structure behind you to really allow you to put it on display. I felt under Ben Johnson, you had a more of a structure, even though he still hadn't grasped the offense, adrenaline pumping times or moments where you're overthrowing your receivers, being a little inaccurate, mixed in with some of your receivers and then those drops that he had, that they had. You seen more of a belief in, I know what we are trying to accomplish, and when I can't get it done with the receivers and the talent around me, I can make heady decisions in the fourth quarter. Now, we can talk stats all day. We can talk the highs and lows of the game, the eye test for me. And having a clutch quarterback, which is something in my lifetime that I can probably only name about 3 or 4 that the Bears have had. And that's a conversation for another day. But in my present moment,
I can't think of that many, but okay.
Yeah, in my present life right now, this kid right here with a little bit more tutelage from Ben Johnson, another year in that system, the confidence in which to run these plays and some of the plays that we haven't seen, surrounded by the talent that he has. And we're not going to talk about the defense, we're just talking about the offense and the ability to stay and get back into games. And with the decision making and becoming like incredibly accurate for the most part in fourth quarters. I don't want to see that all season, but the fact that he can do it is just, that's a breath of fresh air for me.
I got a question for you. Does he get benched again? He got benched in the third game of the season. Or not the third, the fourth game or the second game against the Lions.
Well, that's because it was out of reach. I'm not going to call that bench. It was out of reach.
JB, is it still out of reach?
Well, so at that time,
play that game today. Is it still out of reach?
No. That game today, he plays.
Yes, that's all I'm saying.
That game then, it was not worth him getting hurt. It was not worth him.
I know, and I was all for it. But now
he plays that game.
The belief is there, man. Like, it is there. I have not. This is the most excited I've been about a Bears team in my life, I think. And he still has a ways to go. Like, I know I make these videos and whatever, and I hype people up. Like, kid still has a ways to go. I still get pissed off about the 36-yard half that led to the video that I want you to guys to play. That still irks me. But the only reason I get over it, JB, is because the game against San Francisco, you went toe-to-toe. I don't even care you lost. I test coach.
The Dallas game was masterful.
Yes. Yeah. But when's the last time you got to the end of the season where the last game really didn't matter? Right? Like, that's a cool thing to have again. And I came into it, and I'm honest, I had 6 wins. So, like, for me, and like, I'm like, okay, 6 to 8, at most 9 to 10. They got 11.
I had 7 to 9. Yeah.
So for me, like, you could be pissed off about a lot of things. For me, the expectations were met, overachieved to an extent I couldn't believe. Everything's bonus. Like, I can't be pissed about the interceptions against the Rams. Like, happy you got there. It's a learning experience. Everything's all a bonus now, right? But there's a lot to clean up there. There's a lot to clean up there.
But let me put a little perspective in there for you, because the football gods kind of regulate themselves, right? If you believe in such. Justin's one year had like 7 less than 1 score games lost, and they were trying to lose, right?
But like
Caleb's first year,
his stuff came at the beginning, didn't it?
That were, you know what I'm saying, they could have won, but they didn't. Maybe some missed kicks, fumbles, interceptions at the end, whatever. But even last year, some of those wins had nothing to do with the Bears. Like the Washington game, that fumble against a 37, when was it, a 32 dive that they've ran 1,000 times?
The Raiders.
The Raiders in the rain, mind you. The rain, though.
The rain, true enough. But what I'm saying is, look at how many times that the Bears won and were fortunate because of the other team's mistakes. You look at the Cincinnati game. Did you expect? Was it Cincinnati? Yeah. Did anybody expect Joe Flacco to come out here and put up 40 and they get an onside kick? No.
It's what Bill Parcells says. More games are lost than are won in the NFL. Yeah, you're more likely to fuck that shit up, man. Just
right. So I look at that like it's gonna balance out.
Go ahead, Coach.
You remember Nagy's first year?
12-4. We just talked about it before you went on.
Okay.
Thank you, Vic Fangio.
Why? Why was that 12-4?
He just told you, Vic Fangio.
Okay, exactly. Now, oh, the ad popped up.
Coach, go ahead.
No, so the defense, yes. Now the offense still has to score to win you games. Nagy came in here with the complex offense that he wanted Trubisky to learn how to run. But you can't apply that, and you don't have the personnel to run it because you're adopting a team from somebody from under Fox, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we got the big back it
was Jordan Howard.
Jordan Howard and Tyreek Cohen in his rookie year.
Yep.
2 dynamic backs, 2 different styles of running, with Trubisky not knowing the playbook really, 1 or 2 reads and he takes off for first downs. Guess what? That is the simplest way to win football games when you're not turning the ball over as an offense and you got a defense to bag you up. Now, with that being said, my point is Nagy had to coach this team because that's what was handed to him. He got Coach of the Year for just adapting to coaching that team. 1 year. When he went and tried to implement his plan and what his vision was of the offense and everything like that, it fell apart. And that's when you seen how incompetent that was. Now you fast forward to this. And when we're talking about plays that win and lose you games, and we can say on so many occasions, like you brought up the Washington game, you brought let's go to the Raiders game and the block field goal. And that tumultuous half we had during that, the Cleveland game for exists, and the New York game, the Giants game.
The Packer game, we were down 21-3.
Now, by that time, you've seen you win games in multiple ways on different levels. That and so much in the back part of those games, not really beating yourself. Everything you kind of really did and the mistakes you made was in the first half of those games. Then you come out in the third and fourth quarter, you start chipping away at leads, you start building that confidence, and then now everybody is galvanized around this effort to win the game. And that's what you've seen the entire season from this last Bears run. With that being said, you cannot, it's not sustainable. No. And I agree, it's a lot of things to clean up. But the first thing that got cleaned up in Chicago was the fact that you got to learn how to win those games. Those 50-50 balls finally fell in our direction. And as the ones when we had Justin Fields, they did not.
Yes and no, though. Like, did the 12 wins help Trubisky learn how to win games? Like, I feel like you're either a winner or you're not, Coach. Like, you're either going to come through and like, there's a play I remember with Trubisky real quick where, like, it was against the Jaguars. Anthony Miller was running to the corner of the end zone at the end of the game, and he's on the run, and he throws that ball as hard as he can, and it comes up like 2 yards short. I think, like, right then and there, I knew it. Yeah. I think right then and there, I knew it. Like, it's just not going to happen. He led us down the field to the double doink. And so like he did his job still, but that's still coaching too. That team was all in, man. They were all in on Khalil Mack. They were all in, and not for the longevity.
But remember, that was still coaching too, because Jordan Howard was falling forward for 3+ yards.
Yeah,
JB that and extended the drive and got closer.
I got something for you, Mr. Stats. 2 years ago, Week 6, what was the Bears' record?
We were
Matt Eberflus's last year.
Oh shit! Were we 2-4?
4-2.
4-2. I'm sorry.
Oh, 4-2. That's right.
And me and my co-host came on, and we're like, "This isn't gonna work."
It's fool's gold.
And we lost 10 in a row.
The Denver game when they're up 27-3 or something like that.
JB, what was our record this year?
11-6.
In Week 6. At the week,
we were 4-2. Still.
4-2 because we the exact same record.
And me and my co-host were like, "No, this is it." Well, there is a difference there. The record can be the same. There is a difference there. Eye test, Coach, right?
You have to go right back to the eye test. 4-2 is a 4-2 if you really looking at it, not looking at the stats, just looking at those games and how they played and how they won.
No, but those are two different 4-2s for two different reasons, because I can go over to the Chiefs and look at how many one-score games they won, and then look at how many one-score games they lost this year.
So my co-host said, though, he's like, I just resort to them messing it up. The coaching staff messing it up. Somebody messing it up. Now they're not messing it up, right? Like they're not losing.
They're not messing it up, but for some reason, other teams are messing it up. Like, whoa, like.
Because more games are lost. You're buying in on the plan. You're buying in on the plan, man.
Yeah. But at times, I mean,
I'm sorry, 4th and an inch. Let's throw the ball. Like what?
Coach, have you seen any of my videos by chance?
I'm sorry.
Have you seen any of my work that I do? Any of my videos? This one that I got uploaded here is one of my favorites. It's only like 2.5 minutes long. I think it would be a good time to play it if you guys want to run it.
Sure. Is this the comeback one you're talking about?
It's just a half. Yeah, it's like 2.5 minutes long. It's a good one. It's recent too.
All right, so we'll play this video. I have a draft question for Coach, and then JB wants to do some stadium talk before we wrap it up here. Coach, are you good with your time?
I'm good with my time.
All right, cool. All right.
16-6. Can't make one step forward and two steps back, down 10 against the Pack.
Does it himself, you know.
takes the snap. Oh, in trouble. Ball fumbled, but they're going to whistle it dead, and a penalty marker. They're going to get him for the face mask. Snap, rush, throw, left side, caught. Colston Loveland, first down to the 17 of Green Bay. It is fourth down. They're going to go for the field goal here. Here's Santos bouncing the ball around. It's not picked up until the end. The ball is loose. Far side of the field in front of the Green Bay bench. Let's see who's got it. Bears ball. They've recovered an onside kick.
You know you fucked up, right?
You can't count on that, though. You see what I'm saying? No,
but they're gonna mess it up, man. But other parts of the team,
you can't count on them doing that, but you also have to take advantage and still execute. So yeah, you
snap back. They rush forward. Good protection for Caleb. Rush it over the middle. DJ Moore the catch. Snap, rush, throw, left side, caught. Colston Loveland. Caleb Williams with swift to his left, takes the snap, blitzes on. Gotta lob it right corner of the end zone, up in the air. Catch made. Touchdown! What? Are you kidding me? That throw to
DJ Lorenzo, DJ will be missed. That's why I have his favorite CD.
Snap, Caleb, play fake, looking to throw, going deep, searching for DJ Moore, over the shoulder, catch made, touchdown Bears! It's over at Soldier Field. The Iceman cometh, the Iceman taketh a 46-yard spiral to the end zone to DJ Moore. 22-16 Bears, 4:50 in overtime.
Yes, I got. I got the other playoff video on my channel too. So if anybody wants to check it out, BEARSKIFILM, just type it in there, and I got it all in there. Coach, I hope you like that. But I just want to point out, the first 30, 45 seconds, the struggle, like it's still so real. It's like miss. All right, I'll just run it myself. I got it. Okay, miss. I'll run it myself. It gets called back. Like, come on, guys. He nearly had to have his head ripped off. Yeah. And then we needed to get the onside kick. And then
I'm glad he finally got that call.
I know, but like
for real.
It wasn't pretty, but they don't stop.
But here we go again, Bearsky. Romeo Dobbs, 9 times out of 10, 99 out of 100.
He's their best hands player.
He's their best hands player, so he's going to, and that's what I'm saying. The football gods just
pressure's on. Pressure's on.
Because otherwise that don't happen. And this is going to be sacrilege, but he got a little Mahomes in him.
Oh, dude, yeah. I think what we're all realizing is just like, this is great, but like, I don't want to win this way. Make it easier on yourself, kid. And when this moment comes, we all know you got it. You know what I mean?
Oh, he damn sure
7 for 7 is not going to repeat, JB. Like you're saying, the law of averages evens out. You're going to shoot yourself in the foot. Make it easier on yourself early on. Start at the foundation. Don't do that 36 yards and a half crap, and you won't have to do all that, right? So no, I mean, I just felt like that kind of fit right in there with everything you were kind of saying. With
perfect segue, Bearsky, as usual. Love that, man. Great video. Love that, and it just goes to show you just how much our hatred for the Packers runs really, really deep. So
I once told a 60-year-old homosexual man, I go, I don't care who you want to sleep with. I don't care who you pray to. I don't care what color skin you are. I go, I don't like you because you're a cheesehead motherfucker. It is real.
Exactly. So Coach J. Cool, I wanted to ask, moving a little bit forward beyond the season now, real quick, what were your thoughts on what happened with the Bears in the draft and the players that they ended up getting, using their first few picks on the offensive side of the ball? I know a few people in the clubhouse, I mean, this guy being one of them, was a little bit, upset, not beyond the safety pick that he could accept. But beyond that, like I said, focusing more on the offensive side of the ball instead of the defensive side of the ball, which some of us thought that they were going to address. But what were your overall thoughts on the draft and what was going to do?
Appreciate you, Bearsky.
Yeah, thank you. I got to take off. Thank you, guys.
Okay, absolutely, Bearsky. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, guys.
Real quick, I don't want to be long-winded with it, but I'm real on point with this. The only thing that I disagree with, and I can't say I disagree with it now, but what threw me for a loop was the drafting of the tight end.
Roush.
Yes.
Roush.
Now, but giving a little bit more thought before my blood pressure got high, I see why he did it. I see why he did it. Now, as far as draft and what I've become accustomed to, and I have a belief in a talent department. It's way like the rookies from even last year's rookies. They got great usage from 1 through 7 for the most part, outside of Za Frazier.
Well, and Shamar Turner because he got hurt. You have to put Shamar Turner in there. He got hurt,
which also translates into why you don't reach where we wanted him to reach, and some of the players that they thought that fit his scheme wasn't available when it came for our turn to pick. Is one, I like they didn't reach, and two, they had that security blanket of players coming back from injury from the previous season. So it did give you a luxury to let the board work for you. And whether or not that's really strengthening the offense and solidifying some of them holes where we could be that much better with a Roush, with drafting that center that we drafted and that hadn't allowed no sacks or anything like that. You're building your foundation on solid picks that you can develop without having to stress your salary cap, knowing that you got to sign Caleb. So a lot of these things that we're doing now, we rely on that talent department or that scout department to really scout out our players so we can work that draft board and give us a solid, youthful side of what we're trying to build on to be successful, because we trending in the right direction. So overall, I like the draft. I cannot lie and say that I wasn't surprised about the pick, but I didn't have a problem with Thomas. I didn't have a problem with where they picked Muhammad at, and the linebacker was a need.
Keyshawn Elliott,
get the defensive tackle.
Well, that was at the end of the draft, but
in the 6th round. But you got multiple scouts and prognosticators is really saying that he has a real good upside to where he can be with better technique. He already got a great motor. So look at Manunga. We wanted several backs before him. But in the 7th round, you still got a guy out that has that type of success in college and he translates to the pros.
I get it, but to me, there's something to be said about position of need, because although we are waiting for a Shamar Turner, who was a conversion, he was I think freshman and sophomore year, he played DN, then he got big and they moved him to the 3 technique, and he ain't played in three years. He ain't played DN in 3 years. Now he gets hurt. Now you want to make him from tackle back to 3. That's a project. That's 1. 2, Austin Booker drafted in the 5th round, project. You have Montez Sweat, who's giving you like the Luau Dang version of 20 points with those 10 sacks. It was like he had 10 sacks. Where?
Right. How? Yeah.
How? But
right.
You didn't go in for Crosby for real. You didn't go in for Myles Garrett, who, hell, we didn't even know he was for sale like that and really was pretty goddamn cheap.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other guy that Fowl always wanted ended up going to the Ravens.
Trey Hendrickson.
Mm-hmm. So when we go to the draft with that first pick, I'm just knowing Keldrick Pryor or somebody like is on. That's what we said, Chef. He only played. He was a DN and then converted.
Mm-hmm.
But what we're saying is, we just knew that with that first pick, they were going to get a D end, if not to start, just to at least mold. Dio wasn't shit.
Right.
Dominique Robinson been a quarterback, a running back, a linebacker. He's been every position damn near on the field. And you know, like it was a no-brainer to get a player like a Keldrick Pryor, or who's the other one we like, Zay from Missouri.
Oh, Zion Young.
Zion Young.
I like that dude too.
Proven.
I wanted him too.
But although we got Thieneman, there was another guy that was a little taller, you know, that would have fit the Bears scheme just as good, ball hawk. We ended up getting Thieneman. Thieneman hadn't been a ball hawk since Purdue. He at Oregon, he was more of a heat-seeking missile, we'll call it, because of his speed and everything. But I personally feel that by not addressing the pass rush with fidelity, now we already had a defensive backfield that was covering for 3, 4, 5 seconds, and your comment is you can cover for 6 to 7 to 8 seconds now?
Okay. So
little ambitious, I hear you.
Real quick, I want to get in and say this real quick. With every football team, you're going to have a weakness to your team. If you got a strong team all the way through, special teams, defensive line, secondary, linebacker core, offensive line, receiver, running back, etc. Everybody's solid. You're going to have a team for 1 year, maybe 2. That's when everything is complete on your team. But if you are one of them competing teams, but some of these teams that has these weak areas of their team has still won Super Bowls. Now, you
ever heard of the New England Patriots?
Yeah. But to my point, Seattle did not have, if I'm not mistaken, they didn't have a double-digit sack dude. They just had multiple people with a lot of sacks. 6, 7, 8 sacks.
Well, right. I think 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, 7, 8, 9s all the way around the board. So you can get that done. So when you got a Dio that they said that they was using wrong, and they're gonna push him more into the inside where his pass rush is a lot more effective, then let's try that because you invested money there. 2, you still got the veterans on the outside of your free agent veterans, like your Bosa's and your Von Millers and the other dude that been on 19 teams in the league. You know, you still got those guys that you can sign at the end.
Jadeveon Clowney.
Yeah, that you ain't seen do nothing. If your projects in camp are not budding and they're not, you're not seeing the dominance where, okay, they can translate this into the season, then that's where, you know, you can go pick up your free agent veterans. So just coming back full circle, I get it. Like, just because we didn't address a DN, they definitely have something in place to try and develop what we already have on the roster with a Band-Aid or 2 laying out there that we can put out and help and see if we can get them to help us for a season or 2.
And that's where we do hope. But after that one season, and we were the 29th ranked defense, so we can't get much worse.
No, you hope not to repeat that. You hope not to repeat that.
And remember, we lost 13 interceptions too.
So. And guess what? If we would have made one of them trades, we would have ended up with this monster contract that ain't right alongside of trying to sign Caleb. / that, we wouldn't even have the opportunity to probably pick in the first round to get a defensive end and make that the first priority if need be.
The Rams said F their salary cap and F them first round picks, and they got Myles Garrett finna get Aaron Donald back. They got another story for another day.
Yeah.
Real quick before we get into shout outs, I know we're pressed for time. We're trying to get out of here. Cool. We want you to stay for the after show for a little bit, just to debrief. The stadium business. We know Chicago politics, a lot of this going on. For you all that don't know what that means, just pick any Godfather type movie and take a look at what it is. You know, but how do you feel about the U.S. state representative telling us basically, hey, there's this land that's like 200 acres at Rainbow Beach right behind it that you can put a stadium, a casino, a hotel, all this good stuff. How you feel about that?
Is that me or you, Commissioner? You actually doing us?
No, for you, Coach.
For you. We can talk about that after, but for you.
I feel great about it. I feel as long as we get to keep the stadium in the state, this state definitely needs the revenue. You know what I'm saying? So, we can get a relief on some of the things, whether it's property taxes, some of the stuff that's going on around this city that really needs to be done infrastructure wise. I mean, it's a lot of stuff that needs to happen in Illinois that needs the Bears to stay here. Now, if you're talking about going over about Rainbow Beach somewhere, anything like that, and taking advantage of that land, I'm all for it, 100%. All for it, 100%. It's definitely going to upgrade the east side of Chicago in a way that is never even experienced in the existence of this city. And
that land been nothing since we was kids. Nothing.
Before, like my parents was kids, that land wasn't nothing. So if they can make the best uses out of it, man, I'm just waiting to see. I'm just trying to be patient and wait and see. I just really believe that we're not going to Indiana. That it don't make sense.
I don't want no Indiana Bears, and I don't like Arlington Heights, but we can talk about that a little later. Let's get into some shout outs, Coach. It's on you.
My shout outs is for you guys with diverse conversation and different in some of the sports experiences that we're having in this city amongst multiple teams that we do have. The fluctuation of talent that we end up getting, and just being able to give different perspectives keeps not only us on point, but some of the viewers that you all have, and give them perspectives that they never really even thought about. So outside of the shout outs that go out to everybody else, professional coaches, players being drafted, all of it's people like you guys, on some of the smaller platforms that even become bigger platforms that continue to educate and keep people and fans invested when they don't have time to really watch some of the bigger broadcasts. It's you guys that continue to educate and bring awareness to what's going on with sports in this city. So my shots out go to you.
Man, appreciate that, man. Love, man. Real talk.
Yes.
Yeah.
Appreciate it very much.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And please let the good people of the Clubhouse know, like, what, just a little bit more about, like, I guess, yourself at the end. We call you Coach. Tell them exactly what you're coaching and what you do and how you, how about the community here?
Well, I coach football on multiple levels, but currently, as flag football has gotten super competitive, I coach in a highly competitive flag football league, co-ed. So it's a fluctuation of old talent and new talent, and as the sport continues to grow, I'll try and put myself in a position to teach it the right way. But I like to look at myself as a coach in life, a life coach. And I don't go around wearing that title or just saying, yeah, I'm a life coach. No. Some of the people who know me closely know how I operate, know that I'm a person to call in times of need, know that I am a master motivator. And more so because people need to get the flowers that they need to get, and they need to hear the compliments that they need to get. They need that strength, and sometimes it don't come from the people you think you are going to get that from. It's coming across me, and you haven't seen me in 2 months or never met me before in your life. But if I'm somebody that can come in front of you and be and drop something on your plate that's nourishing for your mental and for your growth or your peace of mind, then my job is done. And it's more so of a God-given responsibility that I have at this age. And I always live by that motto, each one teach one. So I like to add to my repertoire so I can spread it out to those who need it too. You only know what you know until you know it. I don't want to be one of them guys and make sure you know it if I know it.
I love it, man. That's awesome. It's always good to have somebody to lean on, give you a different perspective maybe that you didn't really see. And like you said, like giving compliments and kind of like lifting people up and being positive. Sometimes it is better to kind of hear that from a stranger that you don't know compared to, someone that's in your life. Maybe you feel like they're just saying it just because like to say it. Hearing it from somebody that doesn't know you from nothing, maybe kind of like makes it hit a little bit more, kind of like makes it sink in a little bit more and stuff like that. I love the message and whatnot. We need more positivity in this in the world for sure, and lifting each other up. So I absolutely love it.
Yes. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say shout out to his team. Like, he didn't say his team, so shout out to Ferrari. If it ain't me, I'm rooting for you. So,
oh yeah, well, you got to be on the sideline. I'm gonna need some of what you got. You know what I'm saying, up here. And like I said, picking from everybody's brain is how you become. It's our answer for everything. It is, and if you seek it, you'll find out what you need to do. Like I said earlier in the podcast, I'm always a person that sees the glass half full before I'm gonna see it half empty.
Good. It's better. It's better to see life that way in general. So I mean, that's that's a good message for sure. Bearsky, you said that you in the background. Did you want to come on audio wise and give a shout out at all? Or are you just gonna hang out?
He said he can come on audio. Yeah.
Okay. Let's see if he says anything. If not, then we'll kick it over to you, JB, to do your.
Well, I'll just start it off because it's the longest segment anyway. Crook, shout out to you, our super producer, man. Thank you for. Hopefully, your son did very, very well at his tournament. We appreciate you, and be honest with you, man. You are the super producer, and so many shows we wouldn't have if it wasn't for you, brother. So my love and respect always goes out to you, my brother, and I appreciate you more than you know. Coach Cool, we go back. We family. We talk Bears. We talk Bulls. Hell, we talk bullshit. and I just love it, man. And just and that's how he coached too, Crook. He coached with that calm demeanor. Now, when he get mad and he yell, oh, you messed up.
Yeah.
You know what that sounds like? That sounds like some Lovey vibes. I heard Lovey was very much like that, where it's like, okay, tell me where your eyes were at.
That's
what I mean? But then, once you make that mistake one too many times, it's like, now you ain't. Now I feel like you're doing it on purpose.
Now I got to catch it.
Exactly. My team 6-2 going into the playoffs. Ferrari and 4. That's what we chanting around.
Love that. So shout out to Ferrari and Coach Cool's team. Shout out to the chat. The chat was lit. I know that we tend to become a Bears heavy show, but we talk about all things Chicago. Chicago sports, Chicago DJs, Chicago shows, Chicago actors, Chicago music, Chicago nightlife, Chicago food. It's still all Chicago, but right now we just so focused on.
Serious?
Yeah, we're very serious. Draft night and whatever. Shout out to those that did bear with us, pun intended, while we talk very, very heavily about the Bulls. Basketball is important to this town because without basketball, we wouldn't have what we have. Let's just keep it a buck. So I'm going to jump right into the chat. Starting off with the book of Ezra. Thank you for chiming in. Ezra said he was first, and yes, he damn sure was. We appreciate that. Helen Grimmett, thank you for chiming in. We appreciate it. My man Bearski, who is going to join us in the background, hopefully, man. Shout out to you. He's got some of the coldest film play. His film work, unmatched, as you saw samples and snippets of tonight. Get with this dude. Get on his platform. Like and subscribe to his deal. And watch his videos because guess what? He going to do it the right way.
Yeah. I like it.
And leave you with chills at the end of the videos there. You're like, ooh, shit. Just like Iceman, just like exactly.
Shout out to Jesse Cottrell. Jesse Cottrell, one of our P1s we haven't seen in a while. Hey, nephew, Logan O'Dowd, thank you. Shout out to Good, Better, Best BJ. Shout out to Bot Ricks, our sponsor. Shout out to Jeanette Johnson. JJ, you ain't been around in a while, baby girl, but thank you. You came on the show tonight. We appreciate and love you. Tristan Lee, I believe, is new. Caleb is goated. Thank you. Hopefully he will be goated, Tristan, but thank you for the love and showing up. We got to shout out Chicago Clubhouse fan, number one fan, Bears Down. Thank you for chiming in. Caleb BJ Loveland, we appreciate you. Roma Doomsday's dad. Hey, he said, hey, y'all, I love our 3, 4, and 5 starters next year. Okay, thank you, Roma Doomsday's dad. TTNL Runaway. What's y'all Bear Down FTTNL? Always love TTNL Runaway. Thank you. Bears Down is F. Thank you for coming on. We appreciate you. My man Ron Winarski. Ron Winarski. Thank you for coming in. Ron said he got kicked off his high school football team for being too aggressive. All the way to the West Coast, showing that Cali love, my man the Scrolls. Shout out, chimed in often, early and often. We appreciate you, Scrolls. Also, shout out to Lorenzo Clemens, our resident Big Ten referee, and relative to Peter, just got drafted. Damn it.
Peter who? Just got drafted?
Just got drafted. I can't think of his name. Plays D-line. But shout out to him and his family.
Peter Woods?
Peter Woods, yes. Peter Woods.
Okay.
Peter Woods. Unk is related to Peter Woods, so shout out to Unk and Peter Woods. Lorenzo Clemens, thank you. Shout out to Coach Chef chiming in. Shout out to Foulmouth Steve who chimed in. He was in the chat. And last but not least, if we have anybody watching but not commenting, you all are officially known as what?
L for love. Good times.
You all are officially known as lurkers, but we love the lurkers because you know that little eyeball tell us who's watching. So when we got 47 people watching live, but only 22 commenting, I'll still take that. Thank you. But this is a platform where you don't need to be shy. Come on in. The door is open, right? And shout out to SB and crew. Shout out to both my sons, Jordan and Cameron, and any other family that I may have watching. Shout out to T. Nick, who created all this. I don't know where he is. Never know where he's doing, what he's doing, but shout out to that guy.
What is she doing? I never know what she's doing back there.
Shout out to Frank the Tank. And Frank the Tank is eating at somewhere. He out there eating, but shout out to
Hey, Mom! The meatloaf! We want it now! The meatloaf!
Hey, that'd be wild if he eat meatloaf. Real talk. Hey,
Frank too. He's the one that this is a team effort, and he was able to put this link together, the show together on the fly for us, coming in a pinch. So special shout out.
Nastly, so shout out to that brother always, right? Shout out to any other people that we have watching that just have never watched the show for the first time, and you are a first timer. Thank you. But last but not least, if we only have one person, and I do mean one in that little eyeball, and she watches every episode for 5 years straight, it's the Clubhouse Podcast mom. My mom, most affectionately known as Miss Sandra Bynum Holmes. Come on.
Mama. Jamie, that was awesome. Thank you again for the lovely shout out. Coach Jay Cool, that was super cool of you to do. No pun intended there.
Thank you.
Again, shout out to Crazy Ace, yes, for sure. Another member of our team fucking doing his job overseas. Can't wait to have you home, Crazy Ace. I know you said you're only going over there for 2 years. I feel like it's been about 2 years.
It's coming up, right?
Right. It has to be. We're maybe a year and a half into it, so you should be just about done and ready to come home. So hopefully we see you here soon. So shout out to all you guys for Father's Day that just recently passed there. Shout out to my wife for giving me an awesome Father's Day gift and, welcoming with her presence there and then treating me to an awesome day. So, couldn't ask for a better spouse, a better partner here to share this life with. So, super lucky and grateful there as well. Shout out
he just
to
said he's extended one more year. He's been there too. March of 2027.
man.
Brother, come on home. March of 27. We waiting for you.
All right. I'm have to postpone that party that I had set up for you and whatnot. So push it back a year. That's fine. It gives me more time to plan it out and get more party favors and fireworks and whatnot. So it's all good. But shout out to Frank the Tank for, like I said, coming in on the pinch and putting this together for us and setting up the show. Yes, very, very much clutch. That was Jordan clutch. That was Tony Kukoc clutch. That was, Caleb Williams, Iceman clutch there. He came in, right there. So special shout out to Frank. Coach Jay Cool, thank you very much. Special shout out to you as well for jumping on the show. Bearski, putting that film together, jumping on as well last minute. Love to have you guys on, and chop it up and whatnot. Shout out to the two newest baby Bulls to make the team. So welcome to Chicago. It's
Caleb Wilson and Dalen Swain.
Yeah, I mean, hey, and do us proud, man. I mean, just play hard. I mean, Chicago's a blue collar, city and whatnot. Just give it everything you have, man. Just try hard and don't take any plays
Give it
off.
all you got. Keep on riding
the best.
to the top. Give it all you got.
We got karaoke night coming here now. All of a sudden, look out, folks. But with that being said, Coach Jay Cool, I mean, we really do appreciate you coming to the clubhouse. Do us a solid if you could.
Hey, come back.
I'm definitely coming back. I'm definitely coming back. I love this show.
We'd love to hear it. We'd love to hear it. So it was awesome to have you on. Awesome for everybody in the chat as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, the bigger this clubhouse is, the funner it is, the better it is. We can't do it without you guys. So,
facts.
Just keep tuning in. Share the link there. Chicago's a big fan base, so we know if you like the show, we know that you got a Chicago fan, a Chicago relative, friend, baby mama, so a pimp down the street, a girlfriend on the side, a wife. We know you got somebody that may enjoy our flavor that we're putting out there. So please share the link, sub up if you haven't already. It don't cost you a damn thing. And we're trying to get to 1,600 subscribers before the kickoff of the season. So do us a solid and sub up if you haven't already. So, and while you're at it, smash that like. You know what I mean? Like I said, don't cost a thing, and it'll put you on our bucket list of our Christmas list, I should say.
Yes.
Of to show our love and appreciation to, for sure. So, with that all being said, for JB, Frank the Tank, T Nick, Mr. Chicago, and our guest Jay Cool, and who am I forgetting? I know I'm forgetting somebody. Am I not?
Easy.
Does it? That's right. Easy does it. Coach Chef and Amp and our boy overseas fighting that good fight, another year overseas.
And the woman's cut.
Oh, and the woman's cut. Yes. Shout out to them as well. So for all of them, we appreciate you checking out the clubhouse. Be safe out there. Be good out there. But if you can't be good, damn it, at least be good at it.
You got to decide whether you're a wolf or a sheep.
This has been a Chicago Clubhouse Network production.
Well, that answers that.
You're still here.
It's over. Go home.